Seven habits, man. Seven habits that makes a man rise above the average. This is so important. So the first habit is a man that's able to be in the present moment. And the reason why this is so important, family, is because you have to understand that a lot of people are not in the present moment. You have to understand that people are not really here with us. They're living in their mind. They have anticipation, so they're worried about the future, talking about things that are future deals, like it's in the future, right? You don't know what's going to happen in the future. You only know what's happening right now in the present moment. But people are worried about what the future is going to look like. People are worried about what if it doesn't work out? Like you don't know that. Like you don't know that. You only know what it is that you're capable of doing today. And a man that is rooted in the present moment, he's able to maximize his life because he's not making predictions about what it's going to look like or what it's going to be. Because quite frankly, we just don't know. Can you show up though? Because we do know about today. That's what we do know. And so a man that's rooted in what he knows is a man that is rising above the average because he's no longer a slave to his past. Because that's where most people live as well. They're worried about past mistakes. They're worried about past failures. They're worried about the past. They're worried about the future. And they're never worried about today. They're not executing for today. They're not focused on today. One thing about me is that I'm always focused on the present moment. And I wasn't always this way, but I began to learn how to be more present, how to take deep breaths, how to appreciate the day that the Creator has made for us, and how to not waste that. So again, a man that's able to be in the present moment, in my opinion, he's able to actually take charge of his life. He's able to push his life in the right direction. He's able to make the most of his life. He's able to think of ideas and actually execute on them or get started on them today, not waiting for the next day, not waiting for, any future event, not procrastinating, but focused on what he has control over, focused on what he can do, focused on the impact that he can make and create. And I think that that's very important. So again, seven habits that makes a man. The first one and the most important one is being in the present moment. Because when you're in the present moment, man, that's devotion. That's faith in God right there. What is so impactful about being in the present moment? You're spending time with God. You're spending time with the day that He made. You're not in your mind thinking about the future or thinking about the past. You're thinking about the daily bread that has been given to you. You're thinking about today. And that is so important. That is such a big deal because if you're not thinking about today and what you can do today and how you can execute today, then what are you thinking of? And the things that you're thinking of, are you actually putting action towards it or are you just daydreaming about failure, right? It's important for you to get your act together to understand that change can only happen in the present moment and to understand that if you want to change your life, then that starts immediately. And once a man understands that, he immediately rises above the average. The second thing that a man does is he starts replacing things, right? Habits that no longer serve him, he replaces them with habits that do. So instead of sitting on the couch all day, at some point in the day, he's going to get up and he's going to go to the gym, right? With the free time that he has, he gets off of work. He's going to, instead of just watching TV, which he can, right? We can do that. We can relax. Life is not just about work, 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 but he's building out his purpose. He's building out the work that has been given to him by the Creator, not the work that's been given to him by society, but the work that was already planted within his heart, his dream, his goal, the stuff that he knows he should be working on. Okay. The things that he knows he has to get done. You start replacing things with things that hold value, with things that are worthy, with things that push you forward, with things that make the most of the life that you have. So I want you to replace, right? I want you to start replacing the bad habits with positive habits. I want you to start replacing the things that aren't adding value into your life with things that do add value into your life. One of the things that I have replaced is alcohol consumption. If it's not wine or if it's not Kava Haven, we're about to get into it. I'm not really drinking like that. And the reason why is because it's better for my mind. It's better for my spirit. It's better for my health. And the reason why that's important to me is because I want to be able to function at my highest capability. I want to be the best version of myself. And I want to get rid of things that are poisonous or toxic, and I want to replace them with life-bringing things, with things that will help me out, with things that will give my health a push, with things that I know are not going to hurt me or harm me, but they're going to help me and they're going to do good things for me. And that's what we should be doing. So Kava Haven is a drink that I drink. I drink it around evening time after my workout. It soothes my body, it soothes my muscles, and it gives you the calming effect of alcohol without you actually having to drink alcohol. And I'm able to do that without compromising my health. Kava Haven is awesome. They've been using this, right? The Pacific Islanders have been using this for 3,000 years. So it looks new to us, but it's been going on. It's been happening. Okay. They already knew the secret. I'm just sharing it with you guys today. I'm telling you, man, it's something that has changed my life because it helps me to understand that there's substitutions for my habits, that I don't have to continue living this way. I can substitute that with something else. And if I substitute it with something else, I could be on a healthier and happier path. Try Kava Haven today. 15% off your first box. You can scan the QR code right here. It's also the first link below. The next habit that makes a man rise above the average is not caring what others think. You know, if you live a life where you keep caring what people think about what you're doing, then you're never going to do. You're always going to think about what other people are thinking, or you're always going to care about what other people are thinking. And you're never going to actually just do. It's just another barrier that stops you from action. We have too many barriers stopping us from acting, right? We got social media. We got caring about what people think, you know, like we got bad habits, you know, that we continue to do instead of trading them and replacing them, like point number 2, right? So when you stop caring about what people think, you start to enter something that I like to call tunnel vision. You have tunnel vision on what your goal is. You're purpose driven on your goal. You are driven on your purpose. Nothing could get in the way of that. There's no other barriers, right? You just get straight to it, man. And you do what it is that you're supposed to do. You do what it is that you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to care about what people think because you have been given a purpose, and it's going to look very different from other people's purpose. It's going to look very different from what other people got going on. It's going to look very different from other people's lives. Right. So you can't expect people to understand what it is that you're doing when you've been given a specific mission, whatever that mission is. You just got to do it. And you got to believe in yourself, and you got to do it to the fullest of your abilities, the fullest of your capabilities. Stop caring what people think. Stop caring what people think. That's stopping you from success. That's stopping you from growth. That's stopping you from furthering your life. The opinions of others don't amplify the work that you're doing. It only subtracts. The opinions of others don't make you act. It makes you stop dead in your tracks, and it makes you question what you're doing. And you can't be always questioning what you're doing. You need to just do, because that's how you learn. That's the best teacher. That's the best learner. That's how you figure things out. That's how you do it. You got to just do it. But, you know, you care about what other people think. You care about other people's opinions. That's going to stop you from action, right? I had somebody in Purpose Driven Creators, man. Check out Purpose Driven Creators if you're trying to create content. And amazing. Like this dude, man, like the way that he speaks, the way that he was just asking a question, I could tell his videos is good. But he hasn't posted, right? He hasn't posted yet. Now I think he posted by now, you know, because I told bro, hey bro, you gotta lock in. But what he was doing was he was asking his friends, hey, what do you think about this video? What do you think about the video? And it's good to get an opinion, right? I'm not saying that it's not. But what I'm saying is he been making like 30 videos and he ain't post not one of them. So waiting on somebody's opinion and trying to see somebody's reaction to see if they got, like it's stopping you from actually posting. It's stopping you from actually doing. I've seen it. And I don't want that for none of y'all. I want you guys to be confident in what you're doing and take the leap, even if there's no confirmation from other people around you. That's okay. There's going to be confirmation. There's going to be clarity as you continue to do what you're supposed to be doing, as you continue to be consistent in whatever it is that you need to be consistent in. But caring about people's opinions, that's going to stop you. Caring about what people think, even from a healthy perspective of, yo, what do you think of my video? It can still stop you from action. And the number one thing that you need in order to be successful is action. Like you got to believe in yourself and you got to have the faith. Like you got to believe, right? Like that's very important. But then past that, like you have to put forth action, right? You have to put forth action to show your dedication to what you want. That's important. And it's interesting, man. It's interesting, man. You know, we care about people's opinions so much, but they're not living our lives. They're not in our shoes. They're not doing what we do. So we got to care a little bit less. And it don't mean that we don't like them. It don't mean that we don't love them. It doesn't mean that we don't appreciate their opinion. But we can't take people's opinions. We can't take what people think as the gospel, right? You have to take action. That is what's most important. If you have been given a task, if you've been given a purpose on this earth, which we all are, if we care about what people think, our purpose is never going to get done. Our purpose is never going to be completed. Okay. So I just want y'all to be aware of that, right? To be purpose driven, it means that you have to go your own way. You can't worry about what other people think. You can't worry about other people's opinions. You can't worry about other people's thoughts. You have to focus on your own. And you have to make sure that you're in the present moment, like point number one said, and getting work done. All right. Point number four is high value skills. This is very important, man. Like you are in charge of your own life. And so at a certain point of your life, you want to also be in charge of your own money. That's the importance of having a high value skill, is that it's something that you can learn. It's something that you can invest in, right? You can invest in yourself to learn a high value skill, right? I was just speaking about this with my bro, AB, right? It's important for men to have a high value skill. Yeah, you can work for a job and that job is paying you and you know you can get your paycheck. That's cool. But when you come home, you need to ask yourself, what else could I be doing? Right? Like what is in alignment with my purpose? What is in alignment with why God sent me here on earth? Like what else could I be doing? And so you start figuring out that you can learn some high value skills. You can start learning about content creation. You can start learning how to make your own money. That is important as a man because you're creating your own foundation. You're creating your own system. You're creating your own way of life. You're in charge. You're responsible for yourself all the way. One of the things that made me become an entrepreneur was the fact that I wanted to be in charge of my own money. I didn't like the fact that my money was in the hands of somebody else. I just didn't like that. Like I wanted to be in charge of my whole life because I'm the type of person that's accountable and responsible for my life. I like being accountable. I like being responsible because it allows me to just be a better version of myself. It's that simple. So for me, I like when it comes to my financial health that I'm in charge of my financial health and I have to be the best that I can be in order to make money. That's important. It's a service from my heart. It's something that I like to give to people. It's either a product or a YouTube video that can help somebody. Like entrepreneurship is all about help. Like you have to help someone so they can pay you. So I like helping people and I don't like limitations on how much I can help somebody or what I can do or I got to follow the job protocols or the job guidelines. Like I'm just going to create my own job. I'm going to create my own way of life. And that may not be for everybody, but I'm telling you, at least learn a high value skill so you can continue to make it work in this marketplace. You can continue to be valuable or you can continue to do your own thing, right? Whether you're already an entrepreneur, continue to learn high value skills, continue to make yourself the best that you can be so you can continue to be valuable. And that means that you'll continue to be profitable. Okay, so that's point number four. Point number five that makes a man rise above the average. There's no jealousy, there's no envy, there's just inspiration and love. What hurts the average man is that he falls for this trap of comparison. So he looks at his life and he looks at somebody else's life and he actually thinks that somebody else may be in a better position than him, or he thinks that somebody else is better than him. And so then jealousy and envy starts to arise. But what that means is you start to do work from a place of hate. You start to have goals and dreams, but it's coming from a place of enviness. It's coming from a place of hate. And when that's the energy that you're coming with, it's going to be very hard for you to be successful, right? One of the things that you have to understand is that you can't have hate and be successful. You can't have jealousy and be successful and sustain that success. It's important for you to be inspired by what people are doing. I was always inspired. I was always inspired by my OGs. I was always inspired by people that was doing YouTube. I always just caught inspiration and I said, if he could do it, that means that I could do it. There's no difference between us, man. It's just getting up and getting it done, right? And like that to me is what it's all about, is being inspired. And I always try to be inspired by people because I am literally inspired. Like I'm inspired by what people are doing. I'm inspired by the success that people have. I'm inspired by my friends. I'm inspired by the people that I hang around. Like they inspire me. You feel what I'm saying? Because they're skilled at something, and we'll get into this, right? Because I might make a whole video on this. They're skilled at something that I may not be skilled in, and I can learn from them. And I'm skilled in things that they may not be skilled in, and they can learn from me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just inspired, man, because networking is going to get you to that next level, right? Making sure that you're learning from people, that's going to get you to that next level. It's very hard for you to be successful on your own. It's a very good thing when you share your success, when you share that vision with somebody that you can trust and you can build with that person. Like I got a business partner, right, with some of the things that I got going on. That's important for me because that means that I'm not the only one thinking. I'm not the only one doing, right? I'm not the only one adding energy into this goal or dream, right? We're both adding energy into it. We're in alignment, and that means that we're going to get to our destination together. And so a lot of people try to do things solo, right? That might be another point. But I just wanted to share with you, man, like if you got jealousy and envy, how you going to reach a point where you can collaborate with people? It's time for you to be inspired. It's time for you to show love. And it's time for you to understand that sharing is going to allow you to benefit, right? That teamwork is going to allow you to benefit. And you're not going to get there. You're not going to have a team. You're not going to be a CEO with a team. You're not going to be able to have a business and have a team if you're jealous or if you're envy. Okay. It's all about inspiration and it's all about love. And that don't mean that you're weak. I don't come from weak environments, bro. I'm not weak. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm inspired and I'm going to show love. Because to me, that's strength, not weakness. A lot of people think it's weakness to show love. It's strength. Feel what I'm saying? So, okay, that's number 5. Now we're on to number 6. Water your garden fully. I told this to one of my clients. This was our first call that we ever had. This is one of my coolest clients, man. And he's all about the inner work, the stuff that really matters, not the external things, the inner work, because how you are within, who you are within, your level of realization within, the work that you're doing within, that affects your life on the outside. Right? This is something that I've tried to definitely tell y'all and help y'all with, and I will continue to do so. But it's important for you to start understanding that it's important for you to do the inner work, right? And so I told him, I said, yo, you got to water the garden. Like you got the money, you got the success, but don't forget to be grateful. Don't forget to have appreciation. Don't forget to water other areas of your life. Don't forget to water your relationship, right? And we looked at it like a garden. And I told him, I said, it's important for you to water these other areas of your life, because once you water these other areas of your life, what happens is you become more successful. You become a better version of yourself. Everything heightens, right? We think that in order to be more successful, that we have to focus on work, 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 work. No, like it's about harmony. So it's about, yes, doing what you love and making time for that, but also making time for those that you love, right? And also making time for God, making time for gratitude, making time to appreciate how far you've come. Like that's the garden. You have to water the garden, your relationships, your friends, your family, your business, your success, your job, whatever it is that you're doing, the full spectrum of your whole life, all of who you are. Make sure that you're watering those things, physical activity. So making sure that you're working out, right? Getting educational help. So watching videos like this to help you be on your God-given purpose. Like these things are important, and we have to water the garden fully, because if you don't, then that means that you're compromising something. You're sacrificing something to get somewhere. Are we sacrificing our health? Are we going to sacrifice our relationship? Are we going to sacrifice our faith? No. Like, no. Money never that important. It's never that important. Like, you have to figure out what truly matters. Water your garden, because that makes everything else get better. Why? Because once you get better, these things that are an extension of you and who you are, they get better too. So your friendships, your relationships, your health, your financial health, your business, who you are at the job, at the marketplace, like these things matter. And you have to water all of them. You can't just be doing one. Like you got to do them all, and you got to find time for them all. So I think that that's very important for you to understand. Water the garden fully. Once you do that, you definitely go above the average, because average men, they're only watering one or two things. Like they're not going to the gym. They might just be going to work and making money and then coming home and crashing on the couch. Like that, at that point you only watering two things. Maybe doing good at your job and maybe getting proper sleep. And that's the average man. And that's okay if you want to be average. But if you don't want to be average, you got to water other areas of your life. And once you do that, you start to become even more successful. All right. Last but not least, read. It's important for us to read books. The knowledge and wisdom is in books. You guys know my book that's out on Amazon, The Purposeful Man Playbook. It's going to help you to really reach that level above the average. It's going to help you to be the best man that you can be. You can check that out. It's important for us to read books, man. Because if you don't read books, right, then you're missing out on an easy opportunity to get wisdom. One of the ways in which I see books is I see books as people's life's work. Like that's their life work. Like right now I'm reading a book by Napoleon Hill, it's like 700 pages. Bro, this is life's work, bro. It's 700 pages, bro. This is literally his life's work. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like people don't think that success is in books, but it is, bro. It is like you got to be reading. That's going to take your life to the next level, but you have to appreciate those things. Men who are above the average appreciate knowledge, they appreciate wisdom, they appreciate the inner work, and that's why they're successful. They're not worried about the external. They realize that the external comes when you are doing everything that you need to do up here. All right. So I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Stay purpose driven. Let's go over real quick some of the things that we spoke about. Just real quick before we go. Being in the present moment, replacing bad habits with good habits. Check out Carver Haven, first link below. Not caring what other people think. So that means that having tunnel vision, right? High value skills. You got to learn high value skills. No jealousy or enviness, just inspiration and love, right? Water the garden fully, right? Water your garden and read. It's all about doing the work, man. Videos like this is not entertainment. This is just real life stuff that's going to help you get to the next level. So if you like that, make sure that you hit subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.